I'm so excited that you guys are here. I want to talk to all of you guys. Okay, chicos. Well, you are, for the students that already know me, hola, I'm so glad to see you. I'm so happy to see you. And for the ones, the families that do not know me, that this is the first time, hello, thank you for coming. Thank you for spending 1 hour of your precious time with me to tell you all these amazing things about traveling and why do I want to travel right now during this time. Okay, but if you have any questions, just you can type it in the chat, and then we are gonna go over the chat after. Okay, so okay. So if you could please put your microphones muted so we don't get any, sometimes if you're gonna be having dinner or something, or if someone is gonna be behind you, so everybody can hear fine, okay? And don't forget to sign in the chat, that's correct? Or in the invite, correcto?
Yes, so I put a link in the chat, so if everyone can use that link to sign in. And then also any questions that come up, please put your questions in that form and I will respond tomorrow with written answers for everyone. I'll send that out to everyone as well as the recording of tonight's meeting.
So that's the amazing part of having Hannah here, because she will answer the questions. I will not have to tell you, let me get a hold of her. She's right here for us. Thank you. Okay, so our agenda is to talk about the safety and of course about the trip. And I know a lot of you are concerned about the safety, especially during this time, but we want to talk about that and make a big emphasis in that topic, because I want you guys to, if you are going to travel with me, or if you're going to allow your students, your kids to travel with me, I want you to have that in your mind, that we will be taking care of everyone. Okay, that's our priority, to take care of everyone on this trip. Okay, I will mention about the plans, the places that we want to go, what the students are going to gain, besides spending time with this crazy Spanish teacher, the price of this, and the days that you will have, like, to pay this for this trip. And then if you have any questions, like Hannah said, she will respond everything. Okay, so my name is Carmen Linares. I love to travel with my students. In the past, I would travel with my kids, I would travel with my family, and it's something that I already had in the back of my head, that I wanted to travel the whole world. As a kid, I actually wanted to be, I don't know how to say that in English, the fly, you know, the girls that azafata, the girls that are inside the plane helping you.
Flight attendant.
Stirrers. I cannot say that. Sorry, but I wanted to be one of those, because I was like, I wanted to travel the whole world, but it never happened. Okay, and why do I travel? Because I feel that we can gain more through our eyes than with the things that we can have, touch, or buy. Okay, yes, we pay for this trip and we have to work really hard to make things happen, but the experience that we get, that when we are in a different country, when we are exposed to all these different traditions, cultures, no one is going to take that away from us. And that's the reason I like to travel, and it makes me see the world in a different way. And I feel like we're so blessed to do these things, because not everybody has the same the fortune to travel and experience the world. Okay, I forgot this. Okay, here are some pictures of some of my trips to Spain. This is going to be my second time traveling with my students to Spain, and let me tell you, it was amazing. It was a lot of fun. It was my first group, and it was a small group. It was only like 13 students, but we had a blast. It was tiring because it was my first trip, but I really enjoyed it. And then we have here Peru. You might see some faces right there. We have Miranda right here feeding the llama. And through these trips, I want you guys to know that it's not only just to go and have fun and, oh yeah, we're just gonna go and no, it's also about learning and being exposed to all these things that for Peruvians or Spaniards is normal, but for us it's something new. Okay, like the llama, that was great. We had fun. And then our last trip, it was to Italy and Greece. And it was a great, great experience as well. It was one of my favorite trips. It was very tiring, and some of the students that are in the meeting were there with me. And gosh, everything happened. But we stayed up until 3 dancing in that in the on the cruise. We had a lot of fun. Okay, now, why plan for our trip? Okay, let me tell you a little bit of the story. This trip was planned for 2020, okay, but we had to cancel. We have to push it to this summer, 2021. But Hannah and I made the decision to push this trip to 2022. Why? Because we want to make sure the students are safe. We want to make sure that when we go to Europe, everything that we want to visit, all the places that we want to go check, that they're open, that we're gonna be able to enjoy our trip like the way we want it. Okay, and that's why we decided to push the trip. And then after going through all these things and all these changes that this past year has bring us, that's when I make the decision that, you know what, even though I love traveling and there's something that I really want to do for the rest of my life, but I think this will be the last trip that I will do. Not because EF is a bad company or because they're mean to me. No, it's just something personal that I make the decision. So that's one of the main reasons I want to travel 2022. And because 13 of the students that were enrolled since 2020, they're like, no, senor, we're not dropping the trip. We are going because we want to travel with you. So this trip is mainly for students that are graduating and is their senior gift trip. Trip, this is their senior trip, or for my former students, returning travelers. So this trip is not open for sophomores, for juniors, it's only for 18 and above. So I do have, I think, one person that is trying to go, but I know her mom and we've been friends forever. So I know she will enjoy this trip so much. Now, also, another reason that we decided to push the trip is by me opening the trip to you guys, it will give you more time to pay. It will give you that, okay, we still have more than a year. It's not only a year, we have like a year and 4 months. So let's make this happen, okay? Like let's plan it, let's organize. Instead of buying 5 Starbucks during the week, I'm just gonna get 2 so I can start saving money for my trip. But I'll give you more information about that. And something very, very, very important about this trip is this is going to be different. In the past, when students enroll in the trip, um, they uh, they understand that if something happens and they have to cancel, they will lose the $95 and then the insurance. But this right now, EF says, you know what, due to the circumstances that the whole world is going through, we are gonna eliminate that, and it's gonna be risk-free enrollment period, okay? So by Hannah is gonna help me with that information in a little bit, but I want you guys to know that if you enroll for the trip tonight, and then something happens, it's not gonna be like in the past that, oh, they're gonna EF is going to have the $95 deposit. This time it will be different. And we'll talk more about that. I keep forgetting, sorry. Okay, we have, I asked two of my former students if they can share with us their experience about traveling. And my first guest is Miranda Garcia. She graduated 2019 and she went with us to Peru, and it was a fun trip. Lina was there as well. We had a little bit of everything, but at the end, looking back, I will not change anything because in everything that all the things that happened in that trip, it made me grow as a person, and it made me get closer to a lot of the students. Like I will, I have other students that they graduate, they're gone, but now like I have some relationships that are very unique, and one of them is Miranda, Lina that is here, Kiera, Elizabeth. I know Rachel just signed up, and I can mention more students, but I don't remember everybody that is in the Zoom. But that's why I asked them to share their if they can share their experience and tell you guys how this trip changed their life. Miranda, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yes. Hello, my name is Miranda. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So I went on the trip, like she said, in summer of 2018, and I was her student for Spanish. I believe I had Miss Linares for 2 years. That was our total. Yes, that was our total time together in high school. Although we're like lifetime friends now, but this trip was honestly, it was amazing. It was a chance to kind of experience the entire country in a way in a compacted amount of time, and you really did get to do everything that you'd want to in a foreign country that was coordinated, which is something that I really love about EF, is that you don't have to worry about, oh, what are we going to do today? Everything's kind of planned out for you, and it's like it's not strict, it's like really fun, and you get to learn new things about the country. I ate guinea pig for the first time in Peru, first and last time. um, and we went to Machu Picchu, which is one of the seven wonders. It's awesome. It's a great experience. My roommate, who I had never talked to before, she's not at the meeting, but it was great. We're total best friends now, so you really do get to connect with all the people that you go with, and you guys form such a strong bond because you guys are going through all these new things together, and it's honestly beautiful. You get to experience just culture and travel, food, all the different things that countries have to offer. So I would totally recommend going on the trip 100%.
Thank you so much, Miranda. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, guinea pig. I remember I was like, don't eat that, but they ate guinea pig. That was whoa. Okay, thank you, Miranda. And we have one more person, Elizabeth. Elizabeth, she was my student for 2 years as well. She graduated in 2018, and she went with me to our last trip. Elizabeth?
Yes, hello. Hope everyone is doing well. So I went to Italy and Greece in the summer of 2020, and I never ever would have thought of going all the way to the other side of the world. Like I didn't think that was ever possible, maybe in the future, but like not this young. But I don't regret it one bit. Learning, seeing, and tasting a new culture is honestly such a blessing. We see how diverse we are, and so like the first stop was Italy. It was beautiful. And what I loved most was visiting the Vatican. Like the feeling it gave you is just like, it's hard to put into words. I think that's probably when it hit me like, wow, I'm really here. This is a dream like come true. And also like the adventures I had with my mini group, Rachel and Kiara, we went like almost everywhere. We hung out, we shared a room together, we were in the hotel together. I love just hanging out with you guys at the end of a long day when we were just tired and just hanging out. It was really, really fun. And just sometimes like going out at night, just nearby, exploring like the hotel and the area. It was really fun. And also the next stop, which was Greece, was definitely my favorite place. That, I think that part is what allowed me to go out of my comfort zone. For me, it's kind of hard to get out of my comfort zone, but that really, really got me out of my comfort zone because we went to this island and we went to a beach and we had a full day there. I decided to fully go in the water, and I usually don't do that at beaches, but there was a diving board there, and I remember running out all the way to the diving board, and I was very hesitant at first, but I ended up doing that, and I was terrified up there, but I loved the adrenaline I got when I jumped off the diving board. And every time I watch the video that Linares filmed, it's hilarious. It's hilarious to watch. And also like the cruise, that was the first for me, but it was amazing. And the dances that she mentioned, staying up at 3 a.m., they were exhausting, but well worth it. But at the end of all this, it was like so surreal that I went over there and I look back and like I picture me and my parents over there, and I just can't wait to show them this place and this place. And it's just a blessing seeing a new culture, and like it's a brand new world over there, but totally amazing and highly recommend. You get a broader perspective like in life, and just you realize like we're such a small like place here in Orange County, and we're a big population, but we're so small compared to what's out there in the world. So yeah, highly recommend.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you. Thank you to both of you. And I wish I can have Kiara, Rachel, Jessica, everybody to share their experience with you guys, because this is a wonderful experience for everybody to grow. Now, we, like Miranda said, it's kind of nice because EF plans everything for you. So EF is a company that we don't have to worry about what we're going to be doing tomorrow, because we already have our itinerary ready to go. But before I started traveling with the students, I had all these other companies. I used to be at Esperanza. I used to be an Aztec back then. And one of my coworkers used to travel with one company. And I wanted to do it. I wanted experience. And I got in contact with them. And I like what they offer. But then I got in contact with another company. And but then it was until I met Lisa. It was Lisa, and she holds a very dear place in my heart, because Lisa, the way she explained what EF does for us that's what it sold me. It was like I want to travel with them. And since my training, I'm never gonna forget my training for to become a traveler with like after I forgot my position, but in charge of my students. I remember going to the training, and I was afraid because that was the first time I would travel like another country by myself. So I was leaving from LAX to, I think it was Atlanta, or I think Atlanta, and then from Atlanta we were planning to fly to Rome. Well, I was the one that had to experience losing her phone in the bathroom at the airport. And it was a chaos because my phone, I was seated in the airplane already. From LAX, we went to Atlanta, and then I had to, from Atlanta, we had to wait 3 hours. And when we were about to board, it's like, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, and I have my phone with me. I put it, where you wash your hands and then the napkins, I put it right there on top. I leave, I'm sitting in the plane ready, and then someone asked me, oh, because I met other teachers in the group because they were going for a training as well. And then he's like, oh yeah, you should share some of your lessons, blah, blah, blah. And then at that moment, like a flash, boom, my phone. I never grabbed it for the napkin holder. So I got out of the plane, and then when I found out that someone took my phone. Okay, so long story short, I called EF. How did you call EF? Because someone took my phone to the off lost and found, and the flight had to leave, so they got my luggage out of the plane. It was just, but EF, the soonest I call and say, okay, the plane left, can you send me back home? I don't want to go. I was so discouraged. But EF was like, no, we can put you in another plane. We already contact the people in Italy. They know what happened to you. So they're going to be waiting for you at this time. So we can make it. So I spoke to the airline and they understood the situation. So they flew me from Atlanta to London. And then to London, because they didn't have any place, they put me, I think, in first class to Rome. So my experience was amazing because I was able to fly first class from London to Rome. So I felt like a queen. I was like, but all this happened because EF moved everything. Boom, boom, we're gonna do this. So they know what they're doing. They will not leave anyone like, oh, well, sorry, okay, we'll take you back home. No, yes, they do care for you. Now, when this pandemic happened, I have to say that I was a little bit worried how the parents are going to be reacting. But every time I talked to Hannah, she told me, Carmen, I get it. I'm going to do everything that is in my power to help you. And she did. She did. And I had some incidents with some parents, but the way she handled everything, like we say, she had my back. But it wasn't only her, it was EF that had my back, and EF understood the situation. And even though EF lost money through all this pandemic and all that, but they did what it was best. They were taking care of the students, and they make sure all the travelers or future travelers are doing okay. I know I talk too much, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not putting you to sleep. Okay, now for some of you already know all this information because you traveled in the past, or because you were planning to travel with Miss Perek for spring break. But some of the first questions the parents want to know is like, okay, yes, I'm going to send my son, my daughter with you. Who's going to take care of you? Well, we have a 24/7 tour director with us. For our last trip, we have Francesco, an Italiano, and he was like, sometimes I was like, este Italiano, but he made sure we were okay. Then for Peru, we had, I don't remember his name, and I feel, Roberto.
Oh,
Roberto, yes. So, and he was very laid back. He was a very nice guy, just like, oh yeah, enjoy the city, just go through here, go through that. He even went hiking with some of the boys. It was very nice. And then for España, we have Manuel, that he was dancing flamenco with us in the middle of Madrid. He was very friendly, very, he didn't care. He was just being funny and caring for us. Like every time we travel, we have someone with us 24/7. They will make sure that they are with us all the time. So they're not going to say, okay, guys, we're done for today. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to my house. No, they stay in the same hotel for an emergency. They make sure they're going to be with us all the time. It's like we rent the tour director for the period of time that we're going to be over there. So we land, let's say we're going to land in Portugal. We're going to meet them right there at the airport, and then he or she will take us to our destination. So from there, it's like they're taking care of us. Another important thing for the parents, like for them to feel comfortable, is for every 6 students, I have one chaperone. Okay, so with me, I will have 2 adults, myself, and then if I get more students, for every 6 students, I will get other chaperones. But right now, I will have myself and then another 2 adults. For the students for the parents that are like, well, I'm concerned, I'm sending my daughter, my son far away. So don't worry, we will have adult supervision. I know most of the students are gonna be 18. I think everybody's gonna be 18, 19, 20, yes. But still, it's gonna be adults around us, and of course our tour director that will be with us 100% with us. And this is for Hannah, I think.
Hello, everyone. Carmen, do you mind clicking 3 times so we can see all of the points?
Sorry.
No, all good. So again, my name is Hannah. I'm Carmen's point of contact at EF Tours. And the benefit of this virtual world is that I'm not zooming in from Patagonia, as my background would show, but from Denver. We're based in Denver, Colorado. So I'm going to talk really high level about some of our policies. If you have any questions on the specifics, just leave them in that link that I put in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them more in depth tomorrow. But we really want you to feel comfortable signing your student up for a tour with us. So we have a few mechanisms in place. So the first is our Peace of Mind program. And what this means is that although we're signing up for something in 2022, Carmen and all of your students are going to have the flexibility to change the plan if we need to. So what that means is we can change the dates, or we can change the location if we need to as we get closer to tour. So as COVID has taught us, and as Carmen mentioned, we needed to postpone this tour 2 years. Your investment is protected, and we are going to guarantee that travel experience. The global travel protection, this is our travel insurance. So this covers if a student were to injure themselves and not be able to come on the tour, or on tour if they lose a bag. This is our travel insurance that kind of covers all of that. The last bullet point, and the most important if you walk away with anything from this slide, is our risk-free enrollment period. What this means is to enroll your student on the tour is a $95 deposit. Between now and August 1st, if anything changes with your situation, if you doubt the future, if your financial situation changes, you can cancel your student off the tour and you will get 100% of your money back. So we have between now and until August 1st to do so. So we have that in place to make you feel comfortable with booking with us.
Okay, the most exciting part. Woohoo! What we'll be doing when we go to Portugal and Spain? Well, there is many places, and I'm just gonna highlight the ones that we'll be going. So in Portugal, we're gonna visit the Chapel of Bones. Okay, I'm so excited. My sister went to Portugal a few years ago, and she's like, "Oh, you have to go. You're gonna love it." Then we have La Torre de Belén, or Tower of Belén. And we're going to take a tour to the Cape San Vincent. So that will be in Portugal. And from Portugal, we are traveling to España. So we're going to spend a day in La Playa. And I cannot say playa in English, because when I say playa in English, it sounds like something else. So please, someone say playa in English. Any of my former students, can you say playa en inglés? So we're gonna go to La Playa in España. In Portugal. We're gonna spend half the day there, and then we're gonna go to Sevilla. And from Sevilla, we're gonna visit different places. We're gonna be stopping. I think we might go to Toledo. I'm not too sure. I think I had it in the itinerary, but I'm not too sure. Then we're gonna visit Alcázar, el Parque of Güell, and in Barcelona, we're gonna go to Madrid. And then in Barcelona, we're gonna go to las Ramblas, las famosas Ramblas, and to see La Sagrada Familia. The first time I was in Spain, we couldn't go inside La Sagrada Familia. So this second time, I'm so excited because we are gonna go and spend time inside La Sagrada Familia, which is one of our highlights of this trip. And we're gonna be doing more than that, not just this, but this is just the most important place. So places that I'm super, super excited. Okay, now for the students, how these trips, like, we mentioned this a little bit already, like the connections that we make, knowing the world, becoming friends with people that they never thought they would be friends. But the most important thing, I think, that the students gain from these trips and how these change their point of view, the way they see life, is understanding about other people's, other cultures, traditions, and respecting that everybody has a different way of seeing life, because that's what they know. It's not that they're, oh well, they don't know this, they're ignorant. No, it's because that's the only thing they know, that's the only world they know. But when a student travels, it opens their eyes that it's a whole world out there, and there is so many things we can learn from other people, from other culture, from um, traditions. And something that I want to share is I have one of my former students joining to our trip to Greece. And because she signed up towards the end of the trip, she had to fly on her own. And seeing my little girl there, leaving early at the airport, I know she was nervous, but talking to her after, I feel like her flying from the LA all the way to Europe by herself, besides meeting people in the airplane, I know my girl gained so much confidence. She was confident. I'm not, don't take me wrong. She was already very confident, but going to this trip to other continent, she grew up so much, and I can see that, like, she feels so powerful. She's like, I can do anything, I'm independent, I learned something. And I feel that these trips is just something that will change your students, your travelers forever. Because it's so much, they have so much to offer besides going and getting goofy with the teacher or exploring new food or making new friends. It's just they will grow as human beings, and I think that's something that they're going to keep forever in their heart. Okay, we're going to watch this short video.
You know, you have to think that I always been with her. I never missed field trip or anything. Going to China, it was, I feel like Neil Armstrong. It's like going to the moon because she was going without me. You know, it's something that I want her to have that experience. I was totally scared about it because she's gonna be so far away from me. But I trust the teachers because I know they have all these, safety protocols. And I also know my daughter. I know she's not gonna do anything that's not appropriate. So I was really happy that she has this wonderful opportunity for me to, as a parent, to trust the whole system, that you guys are so well organized, offer insurance. You consider every single, step, on the way to get there, right? And their safety. So I was fine. It's just a matter of fear, as a mother, because it was the first time she was out of the country without me. So it was a good opportunity for me to start letting go.
I feel like it's surprising how much you learn by going to another country without realizing it, and how different people can be while still being people. And it helps realize how similar people can be, but still be different.
She came away more mature. It's just a few days, but it totally changed your perspective. You change. It's inevitable. You evolve. So I see that change in her. Definitely. You want them to grow, and you don't want to cut their wings. You want to prepare them to fly. It's challenging, and it also encouraging, because once you do the trip, it's like, hey, I can do this. It's another obstacle that it doesn't matter when you want to do something. The sky is the limit. The universe is full of possibilities. Nothing is going to stop you. So I just want to mention that because I'm so proud of her. I'm really proud of her.
So that's going back to what I was telling you about how much they grow and how much they gain for these experiences. And I know letting our kids go is something in our chest. I have two boys, and when I remember my son telling me, Mom, can I go? I think they go to Washington, or I don't know where they go in fourth grade. I was like, But I say you will travel when you're in middle school or high school, but I know it's hard, but they gain so much besides having fun or just saying I'm traveling by myself. Is they gain so much as human beings. And we're gonna continue with Hannah. She's gonna talk to you about this personal learning, what is gonna give them besides the experience and the fun and the opportunity to travel. They also get
Yeah, academic experience. So everyone wipe your tears from that video. So Education First is a accredited institution, just like El Dorado, just like the universities that Miranda or Elizabeth are attending now. What this means though for your student is that there's high school credit and college credit available with completing the tour. So what the high school credit option looks like is your student would pick a question about Portugal or Spain. And while they're on tour, they're collecting information around the question, whether that's photographs or journal entries or interviews. And when they return, they submit a project to us at EF and they will get partial high school credit. So when they go to college or if they decide to do that, they're going to have two transcripts, one from El Dorado and one from Education First. And that's included in the tour price. The college credit option, that is optional, but we have a partnership with Southern New Hampshire University. And so it is a 3-credit humanity course that is all around global perspectives. And students can complete that before or after. If you have more questions on the high school credit or college credit options, leave it in that link that I put in the chat. The last piece is the Uncommon app. It's a writing resource if your student is planning on applying for college. And it's a writing resource to help them craft their college essays around their experience abroad.
okay, thank you, Hannah. And okay, before we get to the part that a lot of people is like, oh, I want to know, get to the point, how much is this trip? But before I get to that, I want to tell you that what is included on this trip. Basically, everything is included except one meal. So is this the price that I'm going to show you soon? It includes round trip, the hotels, and I'm going to tell you the hotels are safe, the hotels are clean, the hotels, when we were in Peru, we were freezing, but as soon as we got to the rooms, they were warm. When I went to Italy, we stayed in good hotels. In Greece, we had the luxury to be on a cruise, but everything was very nice. This trip also includes the tour director that is 100% with us, the transportation, everything that is good. Since this is something that I forgot to mention, and I should have mentioned it at the beginning, this is a customized trip. So this is not a trip that my first trip, I had to do it with another group of another school. And then Peru, I think we did that as well. But then last year we were blessed that we did a customized trip, and we want to just travel like that because we want to travel by ourselves. We want to have the tour director just for ourselves. So this is going to be a customized trip that is just going to be us. It's not going to be other schools, other programs, just us. And that is included in the price that I'm going to give you in a little bit. All the itinerary, all the activities, the entrances to places, the guided tours activities are included. Now, breakfast and dinner are included as well. However, based on the tour director, sometimes he will say, let's go to Barcelona. In Barcelona, they love to eat paella, but they normally have paella for lunch. So instead of giving us the dinner, they will give us the lunch. So there will be breakfast and lunch, and then we will go anywhere to have the dinner. But what is, no matter what, you will have 2 meals included. And I always tell my students, honestly, when we go to another country, we want to experience when we go to the markets, when we're walking, exploring the cities on our own. We want to try what is traditional, what the locals eat. Or sometimes I have my backpack full of granolas that I bring from the States to over there, and I'm just eating granolas, okay? This trip also includes a 24/7 tour assistant. Let's say in a case of an emergency or something happens, we have this that we can call them, and they will make sure that we're safe. They will put us in a place that we are safe. If things have to change during the trip, we call the 24/7 tour assistant and the emergency team, and they will make sure to reroute our trip so we're safe. So that's the peace of mind that I know that, hey, something happened during the trip, EF will be there for us no matter what. The travel support team is hand by hand with the 24/7 assistant, so we'll have people to take care of us. Something else that the third donation page. I encourage my students to do this, and I had students in the past to create their own page, and they were successful, and other ones not so much. But EF has this page that if you do it, you can just tell your friends, your family, your teachers, hey, I'm gonna create this page. Can you donate money? I know Christmas is coming, my birthday is coming, my graduation gift is coming. Anything that you can donate for this trip to happen will be great. And trust me, by just having some family friends giving you $50, $20, $100, whatever they want, it helps. It helps because when you go to another country, you are going to pay for the trip, but you also want to take money to buy your souvenirs and little things. Okay. It also includes a project-based learning program, the Uncommon App College essay that Hannah was talking about. They will provide you a travel backpack and insurance. Now, some parents say, well, I don't want to buy the insurance. Well, for me, in case, let's say someone gets sick during the trip, knock on wood, no one is going to get sick. That's, for me, knowing that they have the insurance is a peace of mind. So I included the insurance in this trip for the student protection and for the whole group protection. Okay. Now, what is not included, of course, the passport, the spending money, lunches, and tips. And when you sign up for the trip, I will ask, if you sign up, I will give you more details about the tips because I like to make sure we're tipping our tour guides and the people that makes this possible for us. And the college credit is optional, but it's not very expensive. Okay. No. Okay. Here is, you see how I double click because it's like I want to keep the suspense. So, Senora, tell us what is the cost of this trip. This trip is 13 days, okay? This trip is going to Portugal and Spain. You saw the highlights that we're going to be doing, everything, all the fun. And if you think about it, it's like, okay, I have to save $138 a week, and I have to save $276 monthly. But if you have almost a year and 4 months, you can make this happen. You can just, let's get a part-time. I had a student earlier that I said, I hope you can make it, and I hope mi sobrina Melissa can make it. Let's get her a job. Let's start getting a job, and let's start, like, sometimes we don't realize how much money we spend in extra things. So I had a student that she told me back then, it's like, Senora, I really want to go to Spain with you. So she told me, Senora, I've been saving so much money for not buying Starbucks once a day. If you do the math, $5 for Starbucks or whatever you get is $25 per month is $100. So she made this trip happen. And then I had another student, Armando Arellano. I don't know if you guys remember him, some of my former students. He is like, I want to go to Spain. And he was like, he was babysitting the nephews, he was walking the dogs, and I know some people like, oh, I don't want to work, I don't want to do this. But what I'm trying to say is like, even though the full amount looks big, but at the end, it will be worth it. Trust me, it will. Every single penny of those 4,235 will be worth it. Now, this includes that 200 discount. However, Hannah told me this morning that they have something new. And should I tell them, Hannah, or you want to tell them?
Ooh, let's keep.
Hannah,
Well, let's keep them waiting for the last slide. It's on the last slide. Bear with us.
yes.
We're almost there.
Yes. So this is the way you can break it down. Now, there is different payment options, okay? Now, you can have month-to-month, or let's say you're like, no, I don't want to have payment month to month. I'm just going to divide my payment in 3 portions. So you will do the manual option and you just pay your trip in 3 big chunks or in 2 big payments. So it's up to you how you want to do it. Now, I know some of my friends want to travel too. So the price for the adult will be 4,885. But if you do your research, for all the activities that we are gonna go with, the ones that the highlights that I mentioned, it's just some of them. But if you go to the website, to the link that includes the tour itinerary, you can see all the things that we're gonna be doing. So if you say, well, I think it's too much money, I want to plan it on my own, it will be at least 2,000 to 3,000 more than 4,235. When I first joined the company, I was just like, I'm too skeptical. I don't know if this is worth it. I did my research. I remember I was like, this is too good to be true, but I did my research. I went to a travel agency here in Brea, California, and they quoted the trip that I was going to make back then to Spain, and it was 2,000 more. Then what EF was offering me. And I wish I had those papers so I can show you, but it is worth it and it is doable when you plan ahead. When you say, I have a year and 4 months, let's start planning, let's start saving money, let's start asking for Christmas gift, graduation gifts, get a part-time or anything that you can do to make this trip happen. Well, I don't want to say questions because you guys are typing your questions. Okay, so this is Hannah.
Yes. So
What's me?
as Carmen mentioned, well, actually, so before dive into the tour donation page, I just kind of want to lay out some options that we have to help fund a tour like this for your students. So the first, we've opened up a scholarship fund. So we grant $1,000 scholarships to students in need. And last year, there were 4 students from Orange County, and they all received them because nationwide, only about 43 students applied for the scholarship. So there was a student from Orange High School, there was a student from Bolsa Grande, so Northern Orange County. All of this to say, if you need the financial support, please have your student apply for this. Pretty much they submit a 2-minute video of what it means to be a global citizen. So to apply for the scholarship, you need to enroll your student first and put that $95 deposit. Again, you'll have until August if it doesn't work for you financially. But we really want your student to be able to take advantage of the scholarship, which is brand new and in place. The second piece is the tour donation page, as Carmen has talked about so many times. We have students pay for their trips entirely by either like babysitting or getting a side job or making crafts and selling it to their community or putting that link out to their communities around the holidays or their birthdays. And as soon as your student enrolls, they'll have this link that will deduct from the balance of the tour. So it's already created for them as soon as they enroll. The last piece is the $200 discount. So that is included in the price that you saw, and that will be valid until the deadline, which we'll get to on the next slide. Maybe the slide
Yeah.
after this one.
Okay, so um, just keep the number 4,235, but then when are we planning to travel? Okay, because this trip is still far, far away, we are planning Saturday, June 18, 2022, but we have a travel window, like, because it has to do with the airlines and all this. So we might travel June 18, but we might leave June 19 or June 20th. So it will be like 3-4 days from June 18. And then if we actually fly from, if we, let's say we leave June 20, we'll come back July 3rd. Okay, so it will be the day before 4th of July. So this is our travel window, and the days, they don't set the day, like say, okay, it's gonna be June 18 for sure, until we are like 3-4 months before our departure, because it has to do with the airlines. We want to make sure everybody's going to be in the same flight, everybody's going to be going together. So the set day, it will be provided like 3-2 months prior to our departure date. Okay, so we can leave that 18, but we can leave that 20th. And we're going to our last slide. No, not yet. Okay, this is some pictures of the places that we are gonna visit. El Palacio Royal is immense, so this is huge, and I can wait to share that with you guys. It was beautiful, 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 beautiful. And then El Parque Güell. This is a very interesting place, and the first time I was there, I was surprised, all the beautiful architecture, the design of this park. It is beautiful, it's breathtaking, and I can't wait for you guys to see this. And to practice your español, claro, tienes que hablar en español. And then Sevilla, very nice, relaxing day. I think Miss Perek has a picture of this in her classroom, and I'm next to her. Then La Plaza in Lisbon, I haven't been there, but my sister told me it's amazing. I can wait. I'm serious. I can wait to be in Portugal, Lisboa. And let's not forget about the most important thing. If my friend Edith is listening, she will be, amiga, where is the most important thing? The comida, the churros. I didn't put a picture of churros con chocolate, but España is well known for los churros con chocolate. And they're not churros like we know them here from Disneyland, rolling cinnamon and sugar. Over there, they give you the churro, and then they give you the thick chocolate to dip. Oh my God, it's so good. And we have many, many dishes to try, paella, tapas, and to enjoy a good glass of wine, because that's something that's a cultural that they do with the lunch or with the dinner, the famosa sangría en España. So, like I mentioned, this trip was pushed twice. We had to postpone this trip twice. So first I had like 30 something students, but because the pandemic and all this, so students were canceling, and I totally understand. But then I still have 13 students that they're like, no, señora, we're going. It doesn't matter if it's gonna be 2025, but we're going, we're traveling with you. Because like I said, this is gonna be my last trip. So I was like, are you sure you guys don't wanna go with another company? I mean, with another trip, another teacher? And they're like, no, you have to go with us. You have to go with us. And that's why I'm excited, and I make sure I invited people from my previous trips and former students, because I really wanna make this trip happen and to be the most memorable trip. And right now, I have 10 spots to keep it customized and to keep it small, because I don't normally, I know the other teachers take 40 something students. I'm going to be honest. And I think Miranda, Lina, Kiera, everybody that has traveled with me, Rachel, can tell you, when you have a smaller group, is more personal. You make a better connection with your students. You like Miranda said, you're not the teacher anymore. You're the friend. You're the tia. You are the person that is experiencing this with you, like this amazing trip with the person, that human being, not the teacher. So I do like to keep my trips small, but because I say I already have 13 students, I have 10 spots available. And I really wish you guys can sign up and join me to this adventure to 2021. Okay, so we want to close the trip for March 12th, so we can have everything, and I don't have to think about this and just move on and wait for a trip, and enjoy it and have fun and experience the culture and practice el español, and just have a great time with your crazy Spanish teacher, me. And is this the last one? Yes, Hannah, this is the last one.
Thank you everyone for hanging on with us. So enrollment is officially open. So if you go to this link here, it's a tour information page. So you can see all of the details of the itinerary and the link to enroll, whether you're a student or whether you're an adult. You can also put your phone up to that QR code. It will take you there. Please leave all questions in that tiny URL, Lina's sign-in form. The most exciting part though is that the first 10 travelers that enroll tonight will get an additional $100 off. That means that it's $300 off total. I know that Carmen has a ton of travelers that are returning. They've traveled with her in the past. If you're a returning traveler, EF recognizes your name in our system. You get an additional $100 off. So that's $400 off total if you're a returning traveler. So thank you, everyone. I will put the enrollment link in the chat, and we will send out the recording, and we will also follow up with any questions that you have. And we really hope to travel with you.
So guys, imagine my returners, former students traveling and going to Spain for $4,000. Come on, it's pretty good, guys. It's a good deal. You don't go to Portugal and Spain for $4,000 if you do the math. Are you still awake? Thank you. So, Elizabeth. So